Before we start actually painting, I want to talk to you about what you need for a setup for painting. If you're working at home or in a small space, it can be a little tricky and you don't really need that much space to paint. This is a very nice pochade box from Alla Prima Pochade. It unfolds like this, but it's a good example of a pretty compressed area where I have everything I need to paint. So this is the palette, which I paint the same color to match this. For your palette, you can use a piece of wood like this, and as you use it over time and rub the oil in, it will get more seasoned with use and slick and easier to use. I have some paper towels. These are Viva paper towels. Shop towels are great. And I have something to wash my brushes in. This is a little brush washer. It's got I find these work really well. I have a little cup for medium, or so even if you're painting, if you wash your brush out and you want to change, say, from dark to light, even if you don't necessarily want to dip in the dirty solvent that you've been using. So it's good to have, even if you're just painting with the same, with odorless mineral spirits in both, I find it good to have a clean one just to make sure I'm not, if I want a pure highlight, I'm not contaminating with what I've been washing my brushes with. I've got some brushes, right, and a palette knife. So there are a lot of ways you can make your setup very portable. Even little boxes. I've seen, actually Kelly Mika, I'll show you some of hers. She paints in little boxes like this, and even smaller, like in an Altoids box. But for the sake of the class, I don't think you really need to work that large, and I just want to show you a pretty compressed setup with the things that you need. So you don't need to buy one of these boxes, although they're great. Really just to show you, if you have a palette, this is where I'm going to clean the brushes out in, something to clean my brushes with, something to thin the paint with on the painting, and brushes. And then of course paint, but that will come later, and we'll talk about the palette and organizing it as things go on. Here's another small studio setup. So going clockwise, I have my palette, a glass palette again, Woodworks, paint, a small jar for medium. We'll talk about mediums separately, but for now, if you want to get something ready to go, I would say that Galkyd Light is very good, or M. Graham Walnut Alkyd Medium. Those are both really pretty good right out of the jar. Then I have my brush cleaner there, or if you get a Silicoil, that's where yours could go. Some brushes and paper towel, that's a shop towel for cleaning out the brushes, because you want to clean your brushes, especially if you're changing colors a lot or going from a real dark to a light. It's important to keep your brushes clean while you're painting. If we were in the classroom, you would all have an easel. It's possible, if you're working on a tabletop, you could rest your painting there or even hold it. If you're working, small or even up to 8x10, you don't always need an easel. Although even a watercolor easel, those are very portable, lightweight, and inexpensive. Those could work as well, in addition to this for your setup. From this to one of the smallest setups I've ever seen. This is a little small for the class, but this is actually a mini Altoids box, and this is painting in the box set up by Kelly Mika. Some of the boxes that are a little bit bigger might be useful to see for setup. This again is Kelly Mika's box. This is a little bit bigger box, more like the one I was showing on the video. They come out at holiday time if you want to grab one then. That's the easier time to get this size of box. And you see she's got a small portable holder that she's using there for her solvent, which she's both painting with and cleaning her brushes out with. So this is the most portable type of setup, and you can have it with you. It's easy to bring out with you in the field. Here's another one of Kelly's. This plastic container is actually, I believe you can get them online, sometimes in drugstores. I also know that Kelly was using a contact lens case, one for like cleaner solvent, one for dirtier solvent. So it doesn't hold much, but if you're working this small, it will serve you well. Kelly's working here on a thin Dibond panel, and she sticks it to the back of that box with glue dots. And you can see here she's got her shop towel to clean out her brushes right next to it. So I just wanted to show you guys some options and talk about compressing your setup, show you that you can in fact do some painting in a pretty limited space. So here are the basic elements that you need, and look forward to getting to painting.